Somewhere in Corpus Christi, there is a young woman who 3 months ago had never been able to have a conversation in Spanish with her grandmother. Her grandmother only speaks Spanish. Somewhere in Corpus Christi, she's having a conversation in Spanish right now. Another young woman in Corpus Christi right now is delivering a PowerPoint presentation on her primary passion, Afro-Cuban dance. But 3 months ago, she didn't have the confidence or the language skills to do that. And better yet, somewhere in a small town in Texas, a young man decided to step out of his comfort zone and improve his language skills and his cross-cultural knowledge in order to maybe find a better job. But as a result, not only did he land the job of his dreams, he also landed the woman of his dreams. All of these people stepped out of their comfort zone and did something extraordinary. But I'll tell you more about that later. My name is Lorena Parada-Valdes, and I co-founded a company called Passport to Fluency. My entire life has been dedicated to my passion, foreign languages and cultures across the globe. This particular time has been interesting to me in our national lives and in our personal lives, because in the midst of a pandemic, we have found ourselves isolated, we have found ourselves seeking connection, but because of the many constraints that we have faced, we haven't been able to find it. The one thing I didn't tell you about all these people that I mentioned earlier is they all managed to do this without leaving their homes, without leaving their living rooms, without leaving their bedrooms or their offices. So if they can do it, chances are we can all find a way. I happen to believe that in addition to the isolation we've faced because of this pandemic, parallel to that, we have faced distrust, we have faced despair, and we have faced division, mostly because we are afraid of difference. We have been taught to distrust and eye with caution people who are different from us. I have lived in places around the world where I did not speak the language. I grew up in an environment where I needed to learn a second language in order to communicate with people. I have never regretted the vulnerability that I had to experience in order to do that, because it has equipped me to realize that there is a place beyond difference, that there is a place to bridge that cultural divide. What holds us back is thinking people are different. What holds us back is fear. But the biggest fear that I think we have, and we don't even know, is that at some level, those people that we distrust, those people that we fear, are actually exactly like us. They just do things a little bit differently. So let me go back and tell you a little bit more about this very interesting group of people in Corpus Christi and beyond who have decided to take the quantum leap and bridge the cultural divide. There is a couple who decided that they wanted to connect with the language of their ancestors. They did. In 3 months, they were able to make a video about their journey for their own academic community. The beautiful thing about that is they're also going to be able to teach their children the language that they lost along the way of generations. And then there are the students who simply have decided that they want to experience something new. And so, to put this in a greater context, Passport to Fluency specializes in immersion learning. So we believe, the founders, my co-founder Sebastian and I, grew up in learning other languages in immersion environments and believe strongly in that method. And so we decided that we would take people to Bogotá, Colombia, and have them experience for a week life in a new city, learning a new language, having to step out of their comfort zone. And then COVID came. And that wasn't going to happen anytime soon. So we had to really quickly switch our business model. Everybody was on Zoom, so we thought, well, we'll get in on that too. So we started online learning. Courses delivered entirely online by instructors in Bogotá, Colombia, to people in Corpus Christi and other parts of the United States. And people began to sign up because they knew in the midst of their isolation, they needed something more. And I have so many stories I could tell you. But more importantly, I also want to tell you that these people took a risk. They looked into the eyes of difference, and what they saw was a higher and better version of themselves. What does this mean for all of you? Well, you can bridge the cultural divide simply today by going for a walk in your neighborhood. Strike up a conversation with that neighbor that maybe has a sign for a political party that is the other one and not yours. Strike up another conversation with a neighbor who maybe goes to a different church than you do, or a temple, or a mosque. But do yourself the favor of learning not only to embrace difference, to check off a mark that you are now diverse and inclusive, and you can put that away and get in with the people that you always hang out with. Get to know the people that you don't know, because in them lies the adventure of a lifetime. Thank you.